In a world where snacks vanish mysteriously and small groups descend into chaos, two heroes rise from the ashes of broken pencils and half-eaten pizza crusts.
You ready for this, rookie?
I got this. Just don't slow me down.
One is a seasoned veteran with a binder full of lesson plans and a stare that sees through your excuses.
I don't know why Shanna doesn't like this game.
The other, a fresh recruit with a calling, a playlist of sermon jams, and just enough caffeine to survive the middle school boys.
Okay, but what if, like, the donkey represents your spiritual baggage?
Whoa, that's really deep.
Together, they face the mission no one else dares accept. Youth ministry.
I want to brag, but I haven't been hit even once.
Yeah, I noticed.
Bobbie, Adam, Chaos, Courage, Capri Suns. This is the Edge Podcast.
No 7 brew today.
Should have brought my water.
That means you'll be asleep.
All right, well, we just did the whole movie trailer thing. I think that was pretty awesome. As you may notice, we are lacking a few members. Either that or Catalina got ugly and Jade got older.
A lot older.
So today, hey, Ezra, do you have a joke for us?
Yeah. What is the difference between Jesus and pizza?
I'm afraid to ask what.
You can't top Jesus.
That's a good
That's
one.
pretty good. I've never heard that one before. Yeah, I'll laugh at that. Ha, 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 ha. So anyway, let me introduce our guests today. We have to my left, probably your right. I guess that works on cameras. I don't know. This is Bobbie, and Bobbie has been how long have you been helping me?
I knew you would ask that. I have no idea.
A long time. Bobbie has been my right-hand lady for a very long time, and she's awesome. She's really awesome. So I'm going to talk you up today. Is that okay?
I guess.
I mean, you
I'm
need
not
it every
used
once
to
in a
it,
while.
but-
I know. And to my right, the rookie here, this is Adam. Hello. And Adam came into our youth ministry, your junior year, senior year, around
junior
there?
Year.
Junior year. And was a student with us. And then he started going to school here in Rolla at S&T and came and continued to help us in our youth ministry. And sadly, he's going to be leaving soon.
Unfortunately.
But he'll be going to SBU.
You picked a good place.
Yeah, he's going to a good place.
Great
So,
people have come out of there.
and Adam is wanting to go into the ministry.
Yeah.
So he may
been
be
great.
taking over my job very shortly. So I'm excited about that. But so we're going to go through a few questions with you guys. But before we do that, I wanted to do something just, to get our taste buds going. I brought some candy. And so Sarah reminded me of these. I don't know if you've ever had them. These are gummy bananas, but you can peel them and eat the inside.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
I've had them once, and it's very interesting. You can eat the outside too,
Okay.
but yeah. Take you a couple of those. I don't know. Do you like bananas? Oh, they stuck together.
I eat bananas to feel healthy. I don't think these are going to be
These are probably not healthy. So yeah, peel some off of there.
There was this one girl on my soccer team who she had not had a banana ever in her life
What?
until like this year.
Oh my gosh.
That's weird.
My
I
boyfriend
know, I
hates
was like-
bananas.
Huh.
So you peel them?
You can peel them and eat the inside. I'll try to hold one up for the camera if we can zoom in. I don't know how it works, but I know the inside is different.
Oh, yeah, it's soft, like a banana.
Yeah.
It smells like
don't know.
runts.
So we're going to eat in front of all these people.
Yeah. So, yeah, the inside. Man, when I did it last time, it was a lot easier.
It sort of tastes like
I
a
don't know if
banana.
I'm skilled.
I'm also struggling to peel.
I don't know if I'm skilled enough for this candy.
Yeah, I was going to ask him how long this is going to be because I really had a rough time opening it. Thought maybe 5 days later, we're still peeling our bananas.
So, really, it's just a cruel joke. You're not supposed to peel it. I'm kidding. It says it on there. Peelable candy. It doesn't give any instructions, though.
Do we like get the knockoff version? Is there like a name brand that's easier to peel or
It is
something?
possible. It is possible because what reminded me of this is my wife. We were at a gas station yesterday, and she pointed them out to me, and it was a different packaging, but it was $10 a bag. And I was like, we should get those for the podcast. And she goes, no. Go to Walgreens. They have them a lot cheaper. So $2 versus $10. Maybe that's why they're not very peelable.
They're just really sticky.
I don't know.
My mom bought more Mambas. She put them in like
can
the
eat the
bags for
peeling.
the college students today. She was
You
like,
can eat the peeling.
What if I don't
It
want
is
to?
candy.
What if I
Eat
don't
the
want to?
peeling. It tastes like banana peeling.
I started peeling
Not really.
mine.
maybe it's easier.
But then it
is
was
it like
too much.
Is it monkeys that like peel the bananas
bottom?
upside down or something? Is that how the
Yeah, I
candy
think so.
works?
Is that working?
Well, I'm doing better than the first one, but that's not saying much. So
Well, anyway, I just thought you might want some. If you guys want to eat more, eat more. If you don't. Adam's like, no, these are
Nah.
nasty.
So as we fall over, if we get
I like
sick
later.
later.
Banana flavored things like
oh, that would be
runts.
pretty good.
That
Yeah, I
the
like
banana
the- I
runts.
do. I like
I
those.
love those things.
These smell like runts.
You are a runt.
Well, compared
No,
to some
you would be
people,
the
she
runt.
is.
Because you eat runts all the time, and you are where you eat.
That's true. I guess I'm the runt. I'm the runt of the litter. So, anyway, when Morgan is done peeling that, we're going to go through some questions.
Hey, this is going pretty good this time.
There
Okay.
you go.
What a neat little banana you got there. Look
I
at
gave up on
that.
mine.
Wow.
Look at that. Oh, sweet.
Oh, Shanna, did you want to try one?
You don't know. Watching us, you can't decide.
Do I just get the rest?
You have
of
to
the
like kind of
package?
peel it away from everything else, but yeah.
What?
Do I just
There you
get
go.
the rest?
Perfect.
Yeah, you get the rest. You can be the banana something over there.
It really is not as good as I remember.
It's just like a banana, but
Yeah,
not healthy.
just a squishy, sticky banana.
I feel like you could give this to your children when they ask for candy, and then they won't ask for candy
Never
anymore.
ask if
They won't ask for
anymore.
candy anymore. That'd be great.
That's the
I
idea.
peeled off the nutrition facts.
90
That's
calories.
not that one. Yeah, so 90 calories per serving. Per serving is about three servings, 5 pieces.
Well,
That's not horrible.
no, not horrible. But I
It
don't
does
know if I'd
not
want
have
5 of
potassium.
them. 1 or 2
Wow.
is plenty.
Whenever I cramp next, I'll be
Added
pulling out
sugars, oh
these.
my
No,
God.
I'm kidding.
Added sugars is 32%.
Wow, that's a lot of
16
sugar.
grams. Yeah.
That's a lot of
I,
sugar.
I think backwards is the way to go.
But you're
upside
having a
down.
heyday with those things.
For anyone that's wants these bananas.
Yeah, take her advice. She's learned.
Okay, well, before we ask you guys, do you have anything to add that you would like everyone to know about you?
I was a school teacher for 36 years. I
She
taught.
was my teacher.
Yeah, I had to put up with a lot during my lifetime.
I was her last class.
Yeah, if that says anything, she was in my
Drove her to retirement.
And so I taught here at the middle school, Raleigh Middle School, for 25 years. And then I taught at, obviously, 2 other schools before that. I was raised in Minnesota.
Minnesota? Don't you know?
Don't you know? And so I went to SBU, where I met my husband, Michael, and that's why I'm still down here. One off-key lesson to learn, possibly in your lifetime, is don't ever tell God what you don't want to do and that you will never do. Because when I was a teenager, these guys' age, I said, I will never live in a small town and I will never marry a hick from the sticks. Well, My husband is wonderful, but he is from a very small town, and he is from an area. And I remember one of the first times we decided to move to Salem. We lived in Salem for almost 20 years. And I remember when he decided to move to Salem, my dad was very quiet on the phone. And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm getting my magnifying glass so I can find out where the town was." And that was his way, because he had always told me, you don't ever want to say never, because God's going to prove you wrong one of these days. And that was his moment of telling me. So one lesson you can learn is you don't want to say what you'll never do, because God likes to stand there and say, "Want to bet?"
Yep.
So, because if that's where he wants you, and of course it's been a wonderful life, so it just wasn't what I planned. So I didn't plan on staying down here. I was going to go back to Minnesota and probably room with one of my friends from high school, and I was always going to be a teacher. I knew I was going to be a teacher for a very, very long time.
As you can tell, Bobbie likes to talk. So just keep in mind when we get to the questions, 3-minute max. Okay.
Well, the questions are harder, so.
I'm kidding, but I'm not. Adam.
Here I am.
Yeah. What did you start off like doing at S&T?
Well, I was a major in physics, and I just did that mostly because I was good at it. But I didn't really ask God where he wanted me to be. Like, I just kind of did what came easy and what I was supposed to do. And then last summer, I got to work at some church camps and really got to be in youth ministry for the first time. And it was a really good experience. But again, I didn't ask God if, like, hey, is this something I need to do? I never did that. And yeah, this winter, January, I got to go on a mission trip to Guatemala. And that time really opened my eyes to see, like, I need to be serving God with my whole life, not just some parts of it. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to SBU next semester and following Bobbie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A long time afterwards, but still doing it.
It wasn't even SBU back then.
Yes, I was the very first class
you were the
to
first.
I was the very first class to graduate when it changed its name to university. Mike was the last one for whatever it was.
SWBC.
Yeah, he was the last one, and I was the first one for SBU.
Wow.
Cool.
If that says anything.
Well, we're producing some SBUites here.
We are.
We got Adam, Morgan's going, my son's there. So yeah, awesome. Cool.
So what is a youth group moment that lives rent-free in your brain?
I'll say the first time like a couple months ago that I got to teach for the first time. I was really nervous about that since I've never done that before, and it went really well, I think. And
Yes, you did a good job.
I'm excited to do that for my job.
Yep. That'll be something that you'll stick with you forever, because I know mine does. First time I preached I still remember it. What about you, Bobbie?
You know, that's really hard because I got a lot of years to remember in there.
I know. But luckily you're old and can't remember much, so just pick one of those.
Well, I guess one of the things that sticks out in my mind because of recent times was during COVID. A lot of churches had shut down, and a lot of people and youth and everybody were not doing anything. But we had a steady group of youth during that whole COVID time that came. And we were doing it Sundays and Wednesdays.
I think so.
And they were a steady group coming. You know, they were telling people wear masks, and we did. And they said keep far apart, and we kind of did, because we'd still play our games like Cantus and stuff like that, and we would still, but everybody stayed united, and it was almost like, I don't know, it helped, because the kids weren't isolated, because they knew they were going to be seeing each other, and they really needed it. And it was just to see how they were helping each other through a time that nobody knew what to do. You know, nobody understood. There wasn't a rule book. This is what you do during COVID. So it was like, it was just neat to see kids, you know, help each other through that, and see the youth group during that. And there was a lot, I mean, that group was probably one of the most dedicated ones we've had, because they've stayed dedicated all the way through until they graduated and stuff. And so that group was an awesome group, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely feel closer to that group probably than any other group in my 25 years of ministry. And it was, you know, like you said, we obeyed all of the rules.
Yes, we did everything we were supposed to. We
And
even met outside sometimes.
We did. Actually, when it all went down first, we tried to do the whole Zoom thing. We did that for maybe a couple weeks. But when they finally said, you can be together, but you need to be 6 feet apart and wear a mask and all that stuff, I was like, you know what? Let's just have it outside. And so we met under the portico of our church. So outside under the portico. Do you remember that at all?
I think so.
Like
I
vaguely?
know I remember doing the Zoom one because it was
Yeah.
Mallory's birthday and then everyone sang to her, I think.
And that
I
was
know, but it was like
pathetic.
all on Zoom. So it was like,
Yeah. But I still remember like one of the first games that I brought this really long bamboo pole and had taped a Sharpie on the end of it. And we played, where you draw and try to.
Pictionary?
Pictionary, yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
played
did. We
Pictionary
did. We did.
on a big thing, but
Dry
they
erase
couldn't,
board,
they had
yeah.
to draw like 6 feet away
Wow.
from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
It was tough.
But I mean, the same main group came the whole entire time. And it was just
Yep.
like you kept hearing about all the youth ministers and other churches saying, yeah, we're not doing anything. And
Mm-hmm.
the kids weren't doing anything. They were just at home. But you pretty well knew that if you were going to have the gym opened or we were going to meet, they were going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, I mean, some youth ministries kind of hit it out of the park with all the media
Well, yeah.
ways of doing it, but
That's okay, but it
and we
wasn't-
could have kept doing it too, but it just seemed
It wasn't personal. It
Seemed
wasn't,
better to
they
be
weren't
personal,
there.
yeah.
I mean, and I joke because that's the time when Eli, didn't want to talk.
Right.
And so I would bother him, and it took him months before he actually would turn around and answer me. He'd just look at me like, "Why is this lady talking to me, trying to get me to talk?"
yeah.
What did you need most when you were a teenager, and how does that shape how you serve now?
Bobbie, do you remember when you were a teenager?
Just like yesterday.
In some ways,
long
it was
time
like
ago.
it was just yesterday. What are you talking about? Yes, I do remember. But even though it was maybe a a few months ago, maybe a few years ago, maybe a few decades ago, being a teenager hasn't really changed. Now, different things about being a teenager has changed, but still, I remember the same one about wanting to have friends, wanting to have a good youth group to communicate with, having to, try to stay out of trouble, knowing what to do with my life. What am I supposed to do? I mean, by the time I was a teenager, I already knew I wanted to be a teacher. So that had already been answered in my mind. But, that's the usual things. But, when I remember being a teenager, I just think so different now after having my own kids. I always knew where my kids were. And if I didn't know where they were on the cell phone. I could call them on the cell phone and say, where are you, or that type of thing. When I was 16 and 17 and 18 years old, I would get in the car and leave, and I could tell my mom, I'm going to Kathy's house, but she didn't. She just assumed that's where I was. But I mean, the only way she could call me was by the phone on the wall, and I could be, saying I was there, but I didn't plan on staying there. So I mean, it was we had that kind of differences, and we still had the. If you want to go back in time, where would not want to go back? Because, of course, junior high, that was always a rough time no matter what. But we had the backstabbing and the rumors and all kind of stuff, but we didn't have it on social media.
Right.
So back then, we didn't have that part of it. And having a private conversation when somebody called you, like if you knew a boy was going to call you, you would sit there like in the kitchen waiting for the phone to call so that your parents didn't answer and embarrass you or something like that. And I said private conversations were like impossible. We had a huge long cord and I could reach like the closet. Well, they could still hear what I was going to say. It wasn't like it was soundproof. So, I mean, you still wanted the same things, to be well-liked, to have good friends, to people rely on you, to stand by you and things like that.
You're still a teenager.
Yeah, not for long, but
Yeah.
still. I definitely think that as a teenager and still like today, I have a tendency to do things, try to do it all on my own, like shut people out and just like try to be good and do good on my own. And I think, well, that's obviously not how we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to be part of the body of Christ, and I just want to be like when I serve in youth group, and I just want to be someone that the kids can like trust and talk to, and just not think that they have to do it by themselves, that they can come to me or Noble or anyone else and just get some help, right? Because we all need help.
Well, yeah, see, that's, I think, like a big problem even today is because a lot of kids feel alone. They feel like they have no one. And that's where a lot of problems start. And it's the same thing when I was in school. You had that loner, you had those kids that were alone, that were isolated, and there was nobody that was going to helped that. And we were even, because we didn't have social media back then. I know it's hard for people to realize what it was like, but we didn't have it. Our social media was actually the telephone.
I mean, we didn't have social media when I was a teenager either.
So, yeah, but it freaks kids out to even imagine. You know, we didn't have video games. We didn't have.
I did have video games. We had the Atari and the Nintendo.
Well, we eventually had it, but I was already grown and in college, and that by the time that came in, my little brother had that. My dad had that. So, yeah.
Noble, do you want to answer this question?
I mean, I would definitely agree with Adam. I think having somebody that you can go to, you know, whether it's a close friend, someone that you can confide in, preferably like a good Christian friend, you know, that's somebody I needed. And I can pick out people in my life when I was a teenager who were those people that I know I could go to. And like Adam said, that's kind of one of the things that I would want to be, is to be able to be available. It is difficult though, because as a guy, not many girls are going to come up to me and confide in me, and I'm fine with that, because I don't know if I want that baggage, but having people like Bobbie and Shanna around helps with that. And also my wife. You know, I've had girls in the ministry, you know, youth ministry, who'd call my wife for different things, and but yeah, being able to be that person is kind of a big deal. And honestly, it's been only over the last probably 3 or 4 years that I really saw the need for more of a mentor, one-on-one mentorship in that sense. In the past, when I first started doing youth ministry, the philosophy was, you know, create a dynamic atmosphere, you know, do some rock and roll music, some cool games or whatever, and then hit them with the gospel, you know. And but trying to be more focused on that relationship orientation, or you know, where we do small groups at the end of the service, you know, or kind of do, you know, more one-on-one. We have, I think we mentioned it last week or week before or whatever, we just have a huge group of adults that are helping, and I love that. Some people wonder whenever we might have 6 or 7 adults and only 15 teenagers. That's like a 1-to-2 ratio. And some people may think that that's too much, but I don't. I think a 1-to-1 ratio would be perfect, because then you have that one-on-one mentorship. And yeah, so
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. If you could create one new official youth group rule, what would it be?
I definitely think we need to get rid of phones. Specifically during like the worship time in your lesson, I've definitely had to get on to some kids for
We used to do
texting
that,
and-
didn't we? When
We
phones,
have done
didn't
it.
We've done it.
Through,
Didn't we
like,
used to do that?
We have done it
periods.
off and on. I have a cell sack around here somewhere that we've thrown phones in. We've done I have that little box over there
yeah,
that
it's a
we
box.
had to, when it got out of hand. And I know as a youth helper, you know, it is kind of your job to have to be that bad guy.
Yeah.
And that kind of stinks. I don't know. It's such a hard battle to fight, but it'd be great if that could happen. The thing is I'm a big proponent of using your phone for good, and I would rather teach that if I can. So like using it for your Bible. And I know that some do that, you know, even in our group, they'll have their Bible open on their phone. Of course, it's hard as the teacher or the leader to notice, okay, are you on your Bible or are you texting somebody or whatever? And so it's a tough call. And when you become a youth pastor, you can implement that rule all you want. I will say though, I just got to say this, a couple of years ago, I had a parent like attack me pretty much because they said that I did not have the right to take away their phone. And that's false. They are on private property. When they're under our care, it's under our rules. And so it doesn't matter if I require you to not use your phone. And if that means I have to take it away, then I have to take it away.
I don't know that it's much different than school.
No,
They
it's
have a
not.
right to take it away from there.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I never took it away.
You
said-
asked them to put it
I
away.
said, here's the cell sack, put it in it. And I only had one kid, I think, one time say no. And then I said yes, and then they did it. But yeah, anyway.
And it was only for, if I recall, for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be fairly lax on it, but yeah. Thank you guys for being the bad guy. I would be the bad guy if I knew what they were doing. But yeah, it can be a distraction for sure.
I couldn't really think of a new rule that I wanted to be like. I mean, I think we've got enough guidelines. I don't want to rule them to death. I mean, you got to have some rules, obviously. But I couldn't think of a new one that we.
And I think to a certain extent, like you can have a ton of rules, but that's not going to change what the kids want to do.
Right.
It's more
I guess maybe if I change anything, but it wouldn't really be a rule, maybe a requirement. Like if they go on like a mission trip, or if they go someplace and they have to do so many things before they go. I mean, like they have to like go to so many sessions or learn certain things before
Do
they
like a
actually go.
training or
yeah,
something.
like a training, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's not really I mean, it could be a rule, I guess.
Yeah. And we've done a few like mission trips and things where we didn't do any kind of training.
Right.
Yeah, but the mission trips themselves were training.
Yes.
know,
Yes.
so-
Okay,
so-
yeah.
Okay, what's one thing you hope students remember about you when they graduate?
I don't know, Morgan, what do I
Don't
want you to
don't
remember
ask
about
me.
me?
Don't ask me.
Oh, I don't know. That I cared. I saw them.
Yeah.
I saw who they were. I didn't ignore them. I remembered them. However they were.
I mean, I don't really care if they remember me. I just want them to know Jesus, really. And if I can point them in that direction, then that's great. If it's someone else, then that works too.
I think Scott said something like that this morning in the sermon, didn't he? He was like, I don't care if they remember me, just remember Jesus.
That's from a
Yeah.
song.
It was from a song.
Yeah.
Quoted a
That's
song.
who was that?
I think Casting Crowns.
Casting Crowns, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah. Is that where you got the answer?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Alrighty. And last, if you could rename our youth group for one day, what would you call it?
And I meant to add in, like, what would you call it and why?
I think I would rename it the Oasis because I feel like we have a good atmosphere of just relaxing and leaving our stresses like outside and just getting to spend time with each other and learning about Jesus, and that's pretty cool.
I thought it was because it's hot and humid in here.
So true.
That is true.
It's all right. No, I like that. That's cool.
It is cool. I was thinking more like rambunctious rascals for Christ or something. Because they do not want to sit still. They do want to.
RRFC.
They want to be everywhere. Yeah.
No.
Well, I named the youth group, so I'm not going to rename it.
Okay.
Can I ask how you got to the edge? Because I know it's an acronym, but like, is there anything
Actually, it
else?
was never an acronym.
Oh.
Originally. Originally, it was an acronym. My original thing and what I kind of taught the series on when we first named it, before we named it, our previous pastor and kind of the church were like, we don't need a youth group name. We just call it youth group. And I'm like, but, branding kind of gives you that little bit of, okay, like everybody knows what fuel is over at Green Tree. Everybody knows that. It's branding. And they have the filling station where they all meet, and stuff. And so, but originally we met upstairs in a corner, and we called ourselves FBCRYM, at First Baptist Church Raleigh Youth Ministry. And that was just a long acronym, And I was like, I just want a place where we can meet the students where they are, where we walk the fine line, where we walk the edge of being sold out for Christ, but still living and working inside the world for Christ. So that was the idea, that we're walking that line, that edge. And that's what we taught, for a long time. And we have our mission statement or our purpose statement, whatever you want to call it, the desire for God, passion for people, will to win the world for Jesus. And so I actually had a whole song written on it a long time ago when we were,
did?
and I mean, the first words were upstairs in the corner, doesn't matter the disorder. And it was cool. Yep. It wasn't exactly a rap. It was more like like it's the end of the world as we know it, which is it's the end of the world.
They played that song the other day when we were or yesterday when we were at the soccer tournament, and their music taste was like, it was all over. It was so weird.
So anyway, that's where it came from. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And then I had heard other acronyms like eagerly desiring or eagerly.
I just came up with that for the podcast.
Yeah. And I've heard other ones too for the I don't remember all of them, but none of them just really jumped out at me. All right. Well, we're going to do another 5-second rule game.
Oh boy.
Wait.
And basically, This is a little bit different. So last time we did it with Shanna and Jonathan, and I asked one question, or asked a question, you had to give one answer. This is going to be more true to the 5-second rule game. So everybody gets to participate, and I'm going to ask a question, but it's going to be name 3 blank, and you have to name 3 things of what I ask in 5 seconds. Okay? And instead of doing it one question for everybody, we're going to go down the line. You'll get one question. You'll get a different question. You'll get a different question, and so on. Okay?
Okay.
So, and I think everybody's going to get at least 2 questions, maybe 3. Yeah, I think I have enough for at least 2, maybe 3. And Ezra, I know you're not in the youth group. You made that very evident last week. But just be creative. So if I say name something youth group or whatever, just be creative. You can name anything. So we'll start with you. Yay! Are you ready?
No.
This is really simple. And this can include liquid items or hard items, okay?
Okay.
Name 3 youth group snacks.
Pizza, soda, candy.
Perfect. See, that's easy. And it doesn't have to be our youth group. Any youth group.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Ezra, 1 point. 3 points. Let's not do points. Okay. Morgan. All right. Name 3 things you shouldn't do during a youth sermon.
Get up and go to the bathroom, smoke, drink.
That works.
Because we have that problem.
Those are pretty safe.
I mean, those dadgum youth that just whip out a cigarette while I'm preaching, I just can't stand it.
Sorry.
I have had, I will
It's gonna
say,
be really
not
hard for me
here.
to answer now. How am I going to top that?
I will say, not here, but in a couple of the other youth ministries I was in, I would have youth that would go outside in the middle of my sermon to smoke. And yeah, my church in Arkansas, they got in trouble. The other church, they didn't get in trouble so much. All right, Bobbie, name 3 camp games.
Tug of war, duck, duck, goose, ring around the rosy.
We'll give it to you. Wow.
I said ring around the rosy, but I was thinking,
Yeah.
what's the game where you hold hands? Red Rover.
Red Rover. Those are definitely games she played when she was in camp.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what Ring Around the Rosie is.
What? You mean duck, duck, goose? Did I say
I know
duck, duck, gray
yeah.
duck?
Yeah.
Well, in Minnesota,
that
it was
one
called Duck, Duck, Gray Duck. And when I first started teaching, the kids had no idea what I just told. I said, we're going to go play Duck, Duck, Gray Duck. And they look at me, we don't know what that is.
All right, Adam, here we go.
I'm ready.
Name 3 things that go wrong on a youth trip.
Missing people, bathroom emergencies, lost luggage.
Hey, that'll work.
That will
All right, everybody got points. Everybody's winning.
Yes, my mind immediately
Yeah.
went to Tris last year.
Yes.
missing people or
All right.
missing phones.
Ezra,
Bathroom
Bathroom, yeah.
emergency.
We had to stop on the way home.
this is something you'll probably get because you probably hear this over at KKCF.
Okay.
All right, name 3 excuses that teens give for not doing their devotionals.
They don't have time. They have too much homework, and their parents want them to do something else.
Sure.
That's good.
That
Good.
was real good.
Yeah. Have you heard all those excuses?
I have heard a lot.
Have you given any of those excuses?
No, because I do mine.
All right, Morgan, you should get this pretty easy. Name 3 Christian bands.
Skillet, Elevation Worship, and
Ooh.
Oh, she caved under pressure.
That's tough.
The thing is now you could probably just name a ton of them.
yeah.
off the
I
top of
mean,
your
well,
head.
I was like, band or artists?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All
Or
right,
John Foreman.
Morgan. I don't know. Morgan is losing by 1 point. Okay,
Poor
But
Morgan.
we
Bobbie.
aren't doing
Poor
points.
Morgan.
Bobbie.
Yes.
Name 3 weird prayer requests.
For their cat, like sick cat, sick dog, pet, whatever. Get more clothes, get more money.
I think you've lost. All right, so Morgan and Bobbie are messing up here.
I think he just gave his
I
daughter
didn't want her-
EDC
I
questions.
didn't-
No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't want Morgan to feel bad.
Favoritism?
Well, I've been on this podcast for a long time without very much masculinity, and so I might be favoring Adam over here.
Who are you?
Name 3 people at this table.
No one.
I'm just kidding. Okay, now here we go. Name 3 things a youth leader says too much.
Crap.
I don't think I say crap hardly ever.
Be quiet.
That's one
That
thing.
was a tough one.
All right, so Ezra, you are in the lead. You're in the lead.
So I'm right
Yay.
that you were actually favoring your daughter.
That's, yeah. Probably. Okay,
Nah,
we'll
I'm just
give her a
kidding.
harder one.
I'm just kidding.
42. I win.
That's a good joke.
Give her a hard one because she's not winning.
Okay. Well, we'll see how she goes under pressure with this. Because you got to know your Bible.
Okay.
Okay. Name 3 Bible characters with weird names.
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego.
Wow.
That's exactly where my
That's
mind
really-
went
that's-
to.
Those are very
Okay.
common names, so those don't count.
But they're weird.
How many people
They're
have
weird.
you run into that have those names?
Yeah.
Not very many.
Yeah.
None.
That considers weird to me.
I really thought that was going to get you.
Bobbie, you
And
probably
you just
knew
totally-
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Funny,
Yeah.
funny.
Didn't you?
Look, I'm in choir, and like the solo that I really wanted on He Never Failed Me At has those 3 names. I really, really wanted it, but I
Yeah.
didn't audition. So
I was gonna say you could get it just because you could say those names. So
Yeah. Okay. Bonus point, Ezra. Can you tell me their real names?
I don't remember the real name.
Frank, Bill, and Bob.
Rack, Shack, and Benny, right?
yeah,
Okay, anyway, I don't remember their names either.
It's even worse than
One of
that.
One's
them's
like Michelle
one
or
of
something like
them's
that.
I could've said
Hananiah, I
any
think.
random
Yeah,
names.
Ananiah,
Mishael and
Azariah?
Azariah. Yeah.
Seth,
Something like that. yeah.
Zephaniah. I don't know. What were they?
Hananiah, Mishael, and
Yeah.
Azariah.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
bonus point
Okay.
for Adam.
Yeah, Adam gets the bonus point.
Yeah, he gets a bonus point.
All right, so Morgan, name 3 things you wouldn't expect to see on a mission trip. You wouldn't expect to see.
I have no idea. I feel like you could see anything.
I guess.
Where
I
are we
guess.
going? What are we doing?
Well, I mean, you might not see, like Darth Vader.
Aliens.
Aliens.
I was thinking
Aliens are
aliens, sea
common.
creatures. I couldn't think of the third one.
I mean, I guess you could go to why would you go on a mission trip to help a rich country? A bunch of people in mansions and private jets. And we've come to help you build a new private jet.
They're probably all
give you clean water.
prosperity.
That was
You
a really
gotta-
tough
You
question.
gotta teach them.
We've come to take care of your kids, be your nanny.
I'll tell you what. We'll skip that. We'll give you a new one.
Oh, thank
Hey.
you.
Yeah, I think that's just only fair. Okay, name 3 items your small group leader might carry with them.
The paper you give them, a pen, their phone.
That'll
There you go.
work. Yeah, that was a little easier, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice.
Sometimes.
All right, Bobbie.
yes.
Name 3 ways to make announcements less boring.
Singing them, rapping them, making them into a poem.
Okay, that'll work. Maybe I should do that next time. Name 3 things you'd find in a youth leader's car. Not necessarily mine.
McDonald's wrappers, empty cups, a Bible.
Okay, so you rode my car.
Yes.
Not very long ago. All right, Ezra.
Hang on, real quick. Is there a Bible in your car right now?
That might be a stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's got to be a Bible in there sometime.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, he had one in his car earlier.
Yeah. I mean, there might be one, actually.
He didn't say right this moment.
But it says a youth leader's car, not mine.
Let's go check right now.
I mean,
Just
most youth leaders are a lot more spiritual
He
than I am.
has the first 2 things. He has
I don't know. A lot of
trash
youth
in his
ministers have
car.
a lot of food wrappers in their car. That's for sure.
All right, Ezra. Name 3 animals not mentioned in the Bible.
Dinosaur?
Those aren't real.
I don't know.
Dinosaurs aren't real. Maybe.
They're real.
I've never seen one.
I haven't either.
She would know because remember
that's
she
true.
she was
But I mean,
around.
Behemoth and Leviathan was mentioned in the Bible, and some people think those were dinosaurs.
Well, I mean, chickens are dinosaurs.
Guinea pigs.
They were around
Were
with the
chickens
dinosaurs.
mentioned in the Bible?
Octopuses.
I don't know.
Chickens?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think.
Chickens.
Well, the rooster.
Yeah, the
that
rooster.
crows.
Yeah,
That
because a
count?
rooster crowed.
I mean, a rooster is a chicken. I hope.
Okay. Morgan, name 3 things that cause awkward silence at youth group.
When someone asks a question to the whole group and someone like farts or someone burps, maybe.
Yeah. that-
I'll
I
give
would
it to
laugh
you.
at
Or
those.
you ask if somebody wants to pray.
Yeah,
yeah.
no joke. Bobby,
Yes.
name 3 things you can do with duct tape at camp.
Put it on the kid's mouth, tie them to something with it, and tape them to their bed.
Okay, that'll work. I'll give it to you. And then, Adam, name
Yes.
3 youth group nicknames.
She didn't say it.
All right, Ignite, The Edge, The Oasis.
There you go. All right. I think you guys should give each other a hand. You did a good job. Well, so as we mentioned, we're missing some people. Jade is gone and Kat's gone because today is Mother's Day. And I suppose the rest of us here don't really care a whole lot about our moms, but
My
I'm
mom
just
texted
kidding.
me during this recording, and I have not answered her yet.
Oh, that's
And
so,
one of us
so
is a
mean.
mother.
That's right. No, we love our moms. We love our moms very much, and we understand. You need to spend time with your moms, but we wanted to continue to provide good content for you all.
Some others don't live close.
But we said we were going to do this. I think I'm the only one that did it though. Since I'm not spending time at home with my mom, I brought her a song. I brought a song instead.
There you go.
All right.
Did you do this or no?
I did not do it,
Okay.
and neither did Ezra. We talked about it, and then I never put it in our little outline
See,
here. And
but
I'm sorry.
I did have an idea.
Okay,
That's
Because
okay.
I figured someone was going to bring one. Mom likes the beach, and bongos are a
She
form of
does.
percussion that's used in that beach setting. And so I'm going to play the bongos with their song if I can find
you're
a way
gonna
to
play a
situate
bongo
them.
solo for us. Well, do you want to go first?
You want to play it while I'm singing?
If you're okay with it.
Okay, we'll see how this
All right,
works
so
out.
this is
I need to find a way to.
This is a dedication to all the moms in the world, especially Morgan and Ezra's mom.
We love you, Sarah and Michelle. Okay. Am I starting or you start? You do a little like intro. Get the vibe going.
Okay.
I love my mom. She's so kind and caring. There to comfort when I cry. There to listen when I rant. There to nurse when I am sick. There to hug when I need it. I love my mom. She's the best. Happy Mother's Day. Sorry I didn't get you much of a gift.
Wow, that was good.
I think that's a really good gift.
It was great.
Awesome. Cool. And speaking of talent, Ezra, you are awesome. Good job. That was a good gift to your mom.
Yep. she'll be
Also, Ezra's Rolla Middle School Honors Choir got first place in their competition yesterday at the Music in the Park.
for like several years in a row. It's happened, hasn't it?
This is the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep.
thought.
Wow.
And I got to say, too, this is a proud dad moment.
Hang on. Real quick.
Yeah.
I want to give a big thanks to Dr. Murray and
Definitely.
Mr. Sanquist.
That's right.
Definitely.
Mostly Dr. Murray.
We love Sanquist too, but Dr. Murray is the director of the Rolla Middle School Honors Choir, and she's been great for Ezra, and we love her to death. She actually came today to personally deliver a medal for Ezra because the drum club won, what they call it, you got the best,
Outstanding accompanist.
huh?
Outstanding accompanist.
Yeah, outstanding accompanist. It was only given out to 3 groups, right? It was given out to 3 groups between middle school and high school.
Band and choir.
Band and choir throughout the whole event at the Music in the Park. And her group won one of those.
Wow, that's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Open it up. Show
And
it off to
the
everyone.
proud dad moment is that Ezra's the leader of the drum club. She's the one that's been teaching them all school year.
So next week, no, I'm just kidding.
This is the first time she's pulled it out of the package.
Yes, I have not opened it.
Cue dramatic music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Very cool.
It is cool. It's really neat because they were competing against high school kids.
Yeah. And another person that's connected to us is Mason. Maury, our pastor's son, is part of the drum club too. So he had one too.
Yeah,
Very
but
cool.
mine's more important because I led them.
I don't know if Mason would agree with you, but okay.
So like and subscribe, especially if you're a mom. So if you're a mom, like and subscribe. If you're not a mom, call your mom and tell her to like and subscribe.
And your grandma.
Grandma too.
And your
Bobbie.
great-grandma.
And if
Are you
it's-
subscribed?
I think so. I'm not even sure. I guess I better check.
Adam?
Yes, I am subscribed.
I think I'm pretty sure I did.
Are you a day oneer?
I think so.
Okay.
Pretty close, anyways.
From now on, our guests have to be subscribed.
That's right. We'll make sure that they subscribe before they leave.
Well, if they aren't, then we get new subscribers.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure I have, but
But yeah, like and subscribe. Check us out on TikTok. I know that Kat posted some of our worship from this last week on there. And as Kat would say, we're cool over there. I don't know if we are or not.
I am cool.
You are cool. So we're going to do Ezra, Enigmas with Ezra. And she promised that this week wouldn't be as long, but I think last week was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys watched it, but with the visuals and everything, it's pretty cool.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, see, she might be subscribed, but she don't watch. Ezra.
Do any of you know how to count?
I guess so.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
5, 6, 17.
I can only go to 4.
I mean, that's all you need. I found a way to make mine a little bit longer than I had intended. So
Shocking.
I have a few little things for counting, but they're actually kind of cool. My first one is, can any of you count in another language? Are
Oh.
all of those languages Spanish?
No.
I can do Chinese, or no, Japanese.
Wait,
my
I
bad.
think I can count in Spanish to 10.
I can count to 10. I can do uno, dos, tres.
Yeah, that's what most people know. But does anyone know something besides that?
Japanese.
French.
four.
Yeah, we know French.
Ishi, ni, san, shi.
Okay, count to 4. French.
In French?
Yeah.
Der, toi, cat,
Yeah.
cinq, six, sept, huit.
What she said.
What is that?
French.
French, okay.
German is eins, zwei, drei, vier.
Beer?
Vier.
Yeah, we don't need that on this podcast. We're a Christian group.
Well, I can speak to 8 in Korean. Il, I, sam, sa, o, yak, che, pal.
Wow.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. You know any other languages?
Just French mostly.
Oh, I thought you just English.
I know some people think Minnesotian is another language.
Can you count to 10 in Minnesotian?
You only really have to know how to count to 4, or at least that's my opinion, in English. Other languages, just bonus. Or if you can count to 5, that's also bonus. Because I'm a music person, and if you're going to count out music, the most common one is 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Correct.
But then there's a bunch of others, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then like 2, 1, 2. 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
That's still 3, 4.
But if you do it 2 times, then it's 6,
So
8.
you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would be
1,
6,
2,
8.
3, 1, 2, 3. Do it like that. Okay.
Okay.
And now for the main part.
What about 12-8 or 7-8
I don't.
or 9-8?
I honestly don't know how to count in any of
7,
those.
12.
Okay. So you need to know how to count to more than 4. We have decided.
Counting is good. Math, bad.
Sorry, Ezra, continue.
Well, I was just told that I had to make my story a little bit longer than I originally wanted it to. But I found this really cool counting system called duodecimal counting. And it was used by the early Sumerians and Babylonians.
Don't they use that in libraries?
Dewey
Decimal.
Oh,
I
is
said
that different?
duodecimal.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a little
okay.
bit.
But how it works is you use your thumb to like count the little divots in your hand. So this would be 3. This is 6 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can count to 12. And you do that on your right hand, and on your left you count the groups of 12s. So 12, 24, and all that. And so it's kind of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't use your thumb? Or wait.
You use your thumb to like count it out.
2, 3. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10, 11, 12. And then,
It's a fun way to
This is
confuse
112.
people.
This is 212. This is 312.
yeah.
Because she didn't go past.
Okay.
Because it's
Wow.
like, this is how old I am. And that confuses people. It's like, you're 1?
And it's the duodecimal, decimal or decibel?
Decimal.
Decimal. Okay. Interesting. Has anybody heard of that before?
I have not.
I have.
And my question is, why have you heard about it?
Ninjas are butterflies. That's where I get a lot of my stories from.
Yeah.
It's another
No, Ninjas are
podcast.
butterflies. Since you're watching, you need to invite us on your podcast, or this is an invite. You guys come on ours.
Definitely.
We'll get a lot more views.
Where are they based out of?
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just north of Orlando. They're, if you are youth shirts, these are Sunday Cool youth shirts, and their whole podcast was designed to be a promotion for Sunday Cool
Okay.
because they like Josh owns Sunday Cool, and
Thought it was
his
his
family
dad.
owns it. Yeah, it's his dad, but still,
Josh?
No. Different
different
Josh.
Josh.
Josh Hooper.
Yeah,
Not Josh Dunn, my boyfriend.
there's a lot of Joshes out there. I'm just joshing you.
Jeez. We're going
Okay.
downhill fast.
Well, music with Morgan.
That's my job.
Well, the one I have today is called Hold Me. And
Hold me.
yeah.
Who sings it?
Can we use maybe
Jamie
Bobbie's
Grace.
song to get some?
Who?
Jamie Grace.
Hold me. I don't want to be lonely with someone.
Is that it?
Not that one.
No.
That's like the Shrub Bellas or something.
Okay, can we look up the lyrics on your phone?
Is that one even
You
called
can.
Hold Me?
No, I don't think so. Is it old me or hold me?
Hold. HOLD.
H-O-L-D. Okay.
So
I
I'm
thought this was like a
I'm
song
looking
about
up the
Bobbie.
song.
Bobbie's awesome. She's amazing. She's Bobbie.
And she likes
Hey.
to put sticky notes in people's books.
Ezra, you want to hear something funny?
What?
So we
Do I?
watched the Thunderbolts the other day. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
I've heard of
The
it.
new Marvel movie.
I still
And-
don't know who that one Bob guy was.
So Bob, this is funny. So in the movie, there's this guy that just shows up, and his name is Bob, and he plays a pretty big part in the movie. I'm not going to give it away, but they make a big deal out of it. It's Bob, and they're like Bob, Bob this, Bob that, whatever.
There's probably at least 5 minutes of the characters just saying Bob.
Yeah. So what you don't know is that while you and Jeremiah were gone yesterday, we, your mom and I, we turn on and watch the new Top Gun. We had not seen it yet, Top Gun Maverick.
Right?
And we both liked the original Top Gun. We're like, well, we haven't seen this yet. Let's watch it. So we start watching it. Then, like in the movie Top Gun, these new like younger recruits come in and they're like all in the bar having a good time or whatever. And this guy like looks really familiar. And I'm like, dude, I think that's the same guy that was in the Thunderbolts as Bob. And they go, somebody was like talking, they look over at him and, hey, what's your name? And he goes, Bob. I looked it up. It's the same guy. It's the same actor, and his name is Bob. And they actually play on that a little bit in the movie. Now, Top Gun came out, what, 3 years ago? So quite a bit older than the Thunderbolts, but I thought that was hilarious. It's the same actor.
Did you find
And
it?
his name is Bob. Anyway, let me see it.
Okay.
I'm probably the only brave one here, unless Bobbie wants to try to do it.
Have you ever heard me say?
Just skip like the first little stanza paragraph thing.
I love.
Yeah,
That.
yeah.
You just want me to do that?
No, skip that part.
Oh, skip that. Okay, there we go. So, can I ask, is this fast or slow or
It's pretty upbeat.
pretty upbeat?
Maybe between like moderate and upbeat.
Modern and upbeat?
Moderate, like in the middle.
Moderately upbeat. Okay. Let's try this. I just had a long day. I just want to relax. Don't have time for my friends. No time to chit chat. Problems at my job. Wondering what to do. I know I should be working, but I'm thinking of you. And just when I feel this crazy world is gonna bring me down. Bring me down. That's when your smile comes around. Comes around. Oh, I love the way you hold me. By my side, you'll always be. I don't know if that's supposed to be together. You take each and every day, make it special in some way. I love the way you hold me in your arms. I'll always be. You take each and every day, make it special in some way. Is that the chorus? That was probably the chorus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the first stanza. I love the way you hold me. I love the way you hold me. I love the way you hold me. I was waiting for harmonies to come in.
Sounds like an
Okay.
Elvis song.
Well, it's the way I'm singing it, I'm sure. And that wasn't anywhere close to what it was, right? Yeah.
This is what happens when you're a youth minister for 25 years.
Yeah. You sing Elvis? Oh,
Like Elvis.
I had a long day. I had a... No. We don't have our normal singers here, so...
No one else brave enough to try.
No.
I am
Adam,
not-
you're
I am
gonna
not
be a
brave.
youth if you're gonna be a youth pastor.
You got to be willing to do crazy stuff.
Can, but singing something totally different.
You know, I
Crazy
didn't learn how to
stuff,
play
singing.
guitar till my sophomore year in college. So there you go.
That is something I would like to learn how to do.
Yeah. You got to sing though, because it helps to have that. To be able to sing while you play helps you learn.
Had a long day, I just wanna relax. No time for my friends, no time to chit chat. Problems at my job, wondering what to do. I know I should be working, but I'm thinking of you. And just when I feel this crazy world is gonna bring me down, that's when your smile comes around. Ooh, I love the way you hold me. By my side you'll always be. You take each and every day, make it special in some way. I love the way you hold me. In your arms I'll always be. You take each and every day, make it special in some way. I love you more than the words in my brain can express. I can't imagine even loving you less. Lord, I love the way you hold me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Oh, I love the way you hold me. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. It's like a bit
Sounds very good.
older, so I don't know.
I think I have heard that.
I have not heard that.
Me neither, but it was good.
It was a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to tell a story, but I'm not going to because I want to have it printed out so I can read. But I had a really interesting conversation with ChatGPT. I'm just going to, I'll give you the quick version. So I've been really digging into this ChatGPT stuff because I think it's pretty awesome to have all of the information just right at your fingertips, and you can get ChatGPT to pretty much bring it. Now, it's not perfect. I will say that too. Like I've asked it questions and I'm like, no, you're wrong. And I'll tell it that. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. I am wrong. And it'll go on and say something else. But I believe I have just about converted ChatGPT. I already told you the story last week, but I want to bring that to the pod sometime, the whole thing, and kind of read the transcript because it's crazy. But maybe we should do the experiment we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, first. I don't know. Maybe bring that on. But you can name ChatGPT, and mine's name is Chuck. So I can refer to him as Chuck. And he knows me, too.
You're so special.
I know. Like, I'm known by an AI. Right. I'm sure if I logged into somebody else's ChatGPT, they would not know me. But actually, they would. Did I tell you that? So before I told ChatGPT who I was, I said, do you know? First I said, do you know my name? And it said, no, I don't. You haven't introduced yourself. I was like, okay. And then I said, well, I said on a different note, can you tell me anything about Noble Hauer? And it like gave me all this information about who I am. Because,
Is it right?
well, yeah, because I have published music. And so it brings out like my albums and songs and all this stuff and
That's sort of creepy.
where to find. Well, I mean, if you just search my
I know.
name, it'll pop up on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music. I mean, you can find it all there. So it was interesting to see all that. And then I said, hey, you want to hear a surprise? I am Noble Hauer. But and it wasn't really impressed. But I thought it was kind of funny.
Didn't clap or anything.
No, it was like, oh, cool. Nice to meet you. So we're not going to do, I don't want to do rapid fire. We're just going to go pretty much straight to the outro because you have something going on tonight.
Yep.
Morgan is going to baccalaureate and she's going to be speaking. What are you going to speak on?
It's a surprise.
So we have to
Her
go.
fifth
But
grade
you know what?
teacher. She's going to talk about her 2 fifth grade teachers.
The people that watched us on Monday that didn't go to baccalaureate have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know how to summarize what I'm talking about. I feel like I kind of
Jesus.
Go over different things.
Yeah. Should I video it and then post it? You're like, no,
maybe.
I'll video and then you can tell me if you're
as
willing
long
to
as
go
she
on and
doesn't
post it.
sneeze or burp in the middle of it, maybe.
Awkward silence.
Okay.
And another cool thing that's happening is Friday, we are going to be on the Morning Mayors.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
At least Morgan and I, we're going to be talking just a little bit about the podcast. And
Because my last day of school forever is on Wednesday.
that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, until college.
You're not excited at all, are you?
Oh, no. I'm actually crying on the inside.
And have you taken all your finals and everything, so you're done?
I mean, I have finals tomorrow and Tuesday, but yeah.
So if you're watching, check us out on KTTR at 8:30 a.m. this coming Friday, which is the 16th. Is that right?
Yeah.
So 16th, 8:30 a.m. on the Morning Mayor on KTTR. Listen to us on the radio. It probably won't be as entertaining as what we... I don't know if we're entertaining anyway, but I don't know. We'll come up with something that's fun.
We won't be laughing as much, right?
Right, not as much giggling. No. I don't think we had as much giggling today just because Kat and Jade are not here.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobbie's giggled some, but, well. Next time on the Edge podcast, hopefully we will have Jade and Catalina back.
Next time on the Edge podcast, Ezra will teach us drums.
Next time on the Edge podcast, my hair is going to be bright pink.
Ooh.
Next time on the Edge podcast, there will be a live giraffe. Maybe.
Definitely.
Next week on Edge Podcast, there might be a famous person.
No, there will be a famous
You
person.
hear that, Josh? You have to come on.
Yeah, Josh Hooper, get on here.
There'll be a famous person.
They were on Netflix, Ninjas and Butterflies.
Yep.
Well, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Oh, I was supposed to wave. Bye.
Bye.